Okay, I have decided on what I'm going to do for starting it. I'm going to put that the jack shaft behind the motor like I was planning, but I don't have the flat belt pulleys and flat belt. I don't think that the belt that I have is too small that I got for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a V-pulley, and I'm going to use a real heavy O-ring for the time being. It's just until I decide on exactly how. But I have a housing drawn up for the housing around the belt pulley, and but anyway, I was going to make a V-pulley, and I didn't want to put set screws in it onto the shaft. I want to make it a taper lock. So I am going to video making of a taper lock pulley. And the only thing I've done so far is I've taken a blank, I've faced it off, and the crankshaft on that motor that I want to put it on is 3/8. I drilled a 3/8 hole through it. I set the compound on the lathe, set my compound on the lathe here to I think it was 3 degrees. Is what I set it to. It is set at 3 degrees. I set that at 3 degrees. I came in back into the pulley with a boring bar, and I opened it up so that the outside of it, the outside of the hole is a ½ inch. So it actually cleaned up, went all the way through. So now I'm going to make the taper part that goes in there with the 3/8 hole through it. And I just started turning that, and that'll fit in here. It'll be tapered, and it'll fit into this tapered hole on here with a bolt pattern around it. Actually, there'll be a bolt pattern for tightening it, and then there'll be a bolt pattern for loosening it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm turning the shank, or the hub that's going to go inside this pulley. So it's just set up on the lathe here. The sun is kind of shining on it now. Actually, the sun is shining, but it's cold out. All right, so that's total width of the pulley is. The total width that I have is 750. So that's what I've got here is 750. So I will turn a 500 diameter, which is close to what this is. It's actually a little under 500. It's like 480 by calculator, or a little below that, even 475. Anyway, I'm going to turn that to 500, and then I'll come on the back side and I'll turn the spindle in reverse, and I'll cut that taper. So I'm going to cut this to 500 in diameter. And I'll take a couple hundred here and see how it acts. I'm not sure what this aluminum is. I think it's 2024, but it's soft. It's not heat-treated aluminum, I don't think. Which, really, it should be nice if it was heat-treated. To get a little spring in it, then. Actually, it might be heat-treated. I don't know. It's just a drop-in piece of scrap, so I don't know what the material really is. And we want to go down to 500, and we are at about 850. So we'll take another 200. I'm going to try to zoom you in here a little bit. if it'll stay focused. All right. I haven't adjusted the angle. I left that angle alone, so it'll match the pulley. You don't want to mess with it once you've set it for, you know, it doesn't really matter what angle I set that at. I could set it at 2, 3, 4, 5. As long as you don't mess with it when you do the mating part to it. And it'll be a match set, basically. And we are at 640. So we'll take 60 here. Doesn't have to be that accurate, but I like using my mic instead. So we're at 580 right now. Got 80 thousandths to go. So I'll take another 60. And that should give me 20 to go. For cleanup. Finish pass. Should be about 20 thousandths now. And it's 19 thousandths. Should be it right here. This time we'll go in and then I'll feed out the face off. And I'll just go a couple thou more than face that off. Now we'll drill and ream the 3/8 hole. Getting some of these chips out of the way and throwing them in the chip barrel over here so they don't grab the chuck and spin around. All right, center drill it. Back up here. Nice and deep center drills. The drill don't walk off. Drill gets a nice good start. And we'll drill that undersize. I'm going to drill it at 359. I'm going to drill that about 800 thou deep. And get my squirt bottle here. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, get a reamer. 375 or 374, 375.5. Any of the 370, 374.5 reamer. And now we'll shift down. We were running at 800. I'm going to switch it down to 360. Now, we're going to back turn that taper on it, on that. So what we're going to do is crank all the way in here. Put my boring bar in. Kind of an ugly boring bar, but it'll do. Make sure that I'm turned all the way in. I'm going to come up and touch the face. I'm just going to back off just maybe 5 thou or so, and then I'm going to lock my carriage. So now we can back turn that. What I mean by back turning is I'm going to go in reverse, and I want to go faster than that. We're going to kick it up to 1,000. Actually, no, we're going to go back to 800. 83. That'll work. It's going to get really thin out in the front, but that's okay. Now I'm going to go until it cleans up, maybe 100 thou away from that face. Because whatever that is, that's the clamping area that it'll have left. We'll have 100 thou clamping. This will be the last pass right here. Okay, I'm gonna back it out of there, and I'm just gonna grab the pulley, the pulley blank, and I actually should go more than that. Just kind of fitting it on there, and it's quite a ways away yet, so it might get pretty thin up front. I should have made it maybe a little bit bigger. And now that I move my air all the way in, I'm gonna just gonna come in until I touch. Actually, I'm not. I'm gonna stop right up there. Still quite a ways away. More than what I want. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't care how thin that gets out there. And turn this all the way in so I can see where I'm at. Right there, lock it. I'm gonna go 10. See if I can back it up. See if I can back it up far enough without moving the carriage. Get it in there. Now we're getting close. Still going to go a little more yet though. Like I say, I've had them come paper thin out on the end. It doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt anything. I'm going to go another 4,000. That's because I went to 500 on, or 500 on that, and it was under, it was actually like 470. I should have went to 470, but, well, that's going to be perfect right there. That's where I'm going to stop. You can see how far I am. It's just maybe 100 thou from, so that's 100 thou clamping that, and that's fine. So, that is that part of it. So now I want to take and move it out and part it off, and can't remember how I made them before. Okay, turn this in. And get part off blade. And get that set. And get that set parallel with the face. That should back you up a little bit. Just setting my part off blade parallel with the face so that it's straight. Now I want to move this part out a little bit. Let's move in here and see what, maybe 100 thou or so. I want to hit the chuck. Right there. That's where I'm going to go. And I'm going to kick that down to 600 now. 2, 3, lock the carriage. Get my sport bottle. Hopefully I went deep enough with the hole. I think I went 850, which ain't going to be deep enough. That's not going to be deep enough. I'm going to stop there. I kind of screwed up there because that won't be deep enough. Drill it a little deeper. Should be deep enough now, but I want to ream it also. Otherwise there'll be a step in there and then it won't run, then the pulley won't run straight. It would have a chance of wobbling. I don't like that. And get it in most of the way here. Should do it. Alright, back to the squirt bottle. And I think I want to put something in there to catch it too. I don't want it just falling down. So I'm going to take an old center drill, small one. And is that going to give me enough room? Probably not. I don't know if that's going to reach. No. I need something longer. I need something longer. How about a reamer? How about a small reamer? A smaller reamer. There we go. Now, get up there to the bottom of the hole. That should give me enough room, I think. There we go. Should do it. That'll work. Unlock my carriage. And then I'll end up deburring this off of there. And fits, whoops, fits in there like that. So now what I need to do is the whole pattern. I'll get this deburred. I think I can grip it and the chuck here. Hopefully I can grip it straight. It's pretty straight. It's going to be straight enough, I guess. Get a countersink in there. And countersink it. Back this out of the way. This off. And we're at 600. Now we're at 200. Fell off right away, but I want to get countersink in there anyway. That'll work. That will work. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pattern, a hole pattern around here. And it doesn't matter, you know, if it's symmetrical or what. It's whatever you, it's whatever you want, you know. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put it in here like that. And I'm just going to take my little mallet and I'm just going to give it a couple taps, and it ain't coming out of there now. And the only way you're going to get it out of there is if I take a screwdriver underneath or a wedge and tap it and pop it out of there. But now I can drill the hole pattern, and I'm sorry. I'm thinking that I don't know. Like I say, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to really be symmetrical. It's nice if it is symmetrical. I suppose I could calculate a 3-hole pattern. Shut my lathe off. Hit the e-stop. Yeah, I'm just going to go over to the mill and go. I'm debating on whether to go with a 3 or a 4. I could do a 3 and then just, because that way I can do actually 6 holes. 3 of them would be drilled and drilled for screw clearance in the tapered part and threaded in the pulley itself. And then the other 3 would be tapped in here and nothing in the bottom. That way, when you want to loosen this up, you just tighten up the other 3 and it pops it loose. That's what I've used on. I've used that on a few motors. And I used it on that motor over there. That's what's actually underneath this flat belt pulley. There's 3 screws in here, and it's in a taper lock, which holds that pulley nice and straight. Then you don't get no wiggle, because it was on there originally, but with a keyway and set screw, and it had a little bit of wiggle in it, and it bothered me. So I fixed it. I'm not real quick at figuring out hole pattern, so I'll have to cut away to go do that. Sit down and get my numbers to where I want to go. No big deal. And get my V block. Wish I had a bigger set, bigger V block set too. I got a small set, but every now and then when you're doing bigger stuff like this, it's kind of small for it. You know, it'd be nice to have a bigger set. I was going to make one. You know, I made a small one for doing little tiny shafts and stuff, but never did make a big one, a bigger one. Someday when I'm bored. That ain't gonna be for a while. I tend to not get bored in my garage. I find things to do. But that'll hold it straight from, you know, it'll help hold it straight from, and because this side isn't really turned yet. That's coming up when I get this done, and I'll lock it on a shaft, and then I'm going to turn this and then finish the pulley. So, whoops, turn it the right way, dummy. Yeah, big dummy. Yeah, I feel it tilting a little bit that way because loading on that diameter. Alright, I'm going to dial the center in, and then I'll come back once I figure out the whole pattern, and I'll figure out the numbers. I'll put a hole there, 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 drilled and tapped, or drilled with clearance and then drilled and tapped in here, and then actually I could probably get away with just two, one there and one there, just drilled and tapped in here. I think that's what I'll do. So anyway, I'm going to cut away, and when I come back I'll have the whole pattern figured out, and I'll dial that in, and we'll drill and tap the holes, and then we'll end up splitting it. When I come back, we'll take it out of there, and then we'll split it, or put it in vise and then split it with a cutter, and then we'll lock it on a shaft, and we'll go back to the lathe. So until then.